The Things We Left Behind was the mid-season finale of Supernatural, Season 10, Episode 9. I just got done watching it, and I thought it only made sense for me to talk about this. The episode begins with we see Dean having a nightmare, because it is a nightmare. He sees himself killing maybe 5 or 6 people in this room. He's covered in blood. His face, he looks remorseful of what he's done. And I like this because not only does it show that we're not done with Evil Dean, which is something that I was hoping we weren't, but it shows that he can't control these feelings. He's repressing them, and they're just itching to come out. So I like that this is all the case, and clearly the mark of Cain is something that they can't ignore anymore. Then we see that this girl who has been picked up numerous times for stealing and whatnot, she's being put in this home, and we soon find out that it's Jimmy Novak's daughter. Basically the body, the vessel that Castiel has been harboring this whole time. This is his daughter. The little girl who we saw, I think back in Season 4, when we saw Jimmy Novak and his family, and then I remember he died in that episode, and that's how Castiel was able to sort of take full control of his body. So seeing that this was what happened to his daughter, that her mother just ran out on her. She was with her grandmother, but then the grandmother died, so she's kind of been on her own ever since. That really sucks. I mean, if you couldn't think of a worse sort of outcome for that little girl, well, this is it. And I couldn't help but feel bad for her. I liked that Castiel feels guilty about this, that he is trying to do anything that he can to undo this wrong, even though there's no doing that. And he goes there, and his first thought, or I guess what she wants him to do for her, is to get custody of her. He puts on a tie, he goes into the office to talk to the woman, and I loved how awkward that scene was, how Castiel clearly didn't know the right answers, and he was so out of his element. I thought that was very funny. And then, since that didn't work, he then broke her out. And then when they're eating dinner, and she clearly doesn't really want to stay with him. She even clearly stole his wallet. I mean, I saw that a mile away. She pretended to go to the bathroom, and when he was buying stuff, him at the counter, at the register, talking to the woman, and when she saw the magazine, the teen magazine, and she looked at him, and he was like, "That's for a teenage girl. She's urinating." Like, Castiel is so hilarious when he doesn't know he's being hilarious, when he's just kind of being himself. I don't know, I found that really funny. Then that's when he noticed that the wallet was missing and that she had run off, hitchhiked. And then we find out that she was stealing because of this guy, Randy, I think his name was. He was taking care of her if she could steal money for him because he owed these guys money, yada yada. Okay, I wasn't really expecting that. I was a little surprised by how much of this story dominated the episode, because it was the mid-season finale. I didn't mind it. I actually liked a lot of things about it, more so that it was a Castiel-based episode, and that it was paying off all of those thoughts and feelings he was having after what happened to Hannah. So I liked that, and I liked them following up on what happened to Jimmy Novak's family. All of that I liked a lot. We got a couple of moments throughout this with Sam and Dean. Like, Dean was watching the Three Stooges, and he was laughing his ass off, which I thought was awesome. And then him thoroughly enjoying the grilled cheese sandwich. It's the little things in life. I like that. And then later on, when Dean and Sam tell Castiel that story about their dad, I really like that a lot. That might be my favorite moment of the episode. Just them just being real. and telling a real genuine moment of why they do love their father. You know, I liked that because the whole story was that when Dean was younger, they went into New York and he snuck off and went to this place, and then when his father came there, he was like straight authority figure. Mr. Winchester. I like that that's how he was addressed. And, you know, Dean was mad, saying he embarrassed him and I hate you. I love that his dad said, you hate me? Well, fine. Being liked is not my job. My job is to raise you right. And that sounds like something that their father would say. And I like that story. I liked that it's pretty much how they sum up their father. And it was good. So when this guy who Randy owes the money to, it seems like he made a deal, I guess. And, I mean, I could be completely off. But was he about to rape Claire? I mean, am I wrong? But he so creepily came into the room, locked the door, talked about how pretty she was. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was going there. She fights him off, then Castiel and Sam and Dean show up, and then that's when something weird happens. Dean, he gets hit in the head with a bottle, which, I mean, if you think about this, let's say the whole Mark of Cain stuff wasn't going on with Dean, and Sam just kind of left Dean there by himself. Like, Dean could have been killed by these guys. I don't know, it was just weird that, like, Sam didn't realize Dean was by himself in there until he heard the noises. But he heard the noises, they all ran back in there, and Dean is left on his knees, covered in blood. It's pretty much the nightmare he was having. It was almost like a premonition. You see the dead bodies all around him, and man, that was intense. And that was it. I like Sam's reaction of sort of, I don't want to say in disbelief, but he was trying to give Dean the benefit of the doubt. He doesn't want to believe that his brother is a monster, or could be this monster. So I thought it was a great cliffhanger. It is something that's like, what do you do with Dean now? What do you do? Especially since Dean, earlier in the episode, told Castiel, look, if I do go over to the dark side, take care of it. You know? So then what does Castiel do now? What does Sam do now? What's going to happen with Claire? Is Castiel just going to watch her now? Is she going to be with them? Who really knows? So many questions coming out of this episode. Oh, I should also talk about Crowley and his mother, Rowena. I certainly wasn't expecting that. Rowena is Crowley's mother. Alright? Basically, it was Crowley going back and forth on if he's going to forgive her for leaving him hundreds of years ago. It's a pretty weird and messed up situation. I feel like they're going to end up teaming up as villains. I mean, I'm not saying they're going to be the big bad of the season, but I think they are going to be sort of a power trip. Rowena, I don't trust her. She definitely has her own agenda. She's probably going to use Crowley. So again, who knows what's going to happen with that. So many more questions. But I did very much enjoy this episode. I could see some people not loving it or liking it as much as I did because it didn't deal enough with Dean and the Mark of Cain. But still, whatever. We still have a whole nother half of the season to get into that. So guys, let me know in the comments below if you saw this episode. What did you think of it? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!